All right. So we're starting the seminar. Welcome all devotees for joining. In spite of the last week's performance, which I was expecting it will be only me and Srinivas Charan Prabhu, I see more people, so I appreciate your courage. We'll start with Mangala Charan prayers. The seminar is on the Siksastakam. Right, so we'll start with Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Sri Gurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guruh Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So last time we covered is who is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there are many Hindus saying, "I am only that Rama, I am only that Krishna, I am God." So we went through the scriptural references that covers that he's predicted in many, not one or two, no coincidence, and so much of information is given that it's hard to refute, and that's what we went through last time. And then we went through fast track summary as well. So we'll again just sing one more time the Chetodarpana Marjana. चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहाधावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परमविजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिः नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमेदृशमिहा जनिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरवि सहिष्णुनाम् अमानिना मानदेना कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं गवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जान्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहर्तुकी त्वयि हैनन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितां वा विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कजासितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकर्णचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्राविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत् सर्वं गोविन्द विरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनास्तु माम् अदर्शनां मर्महतां करोस्तु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पतो मत प्राणनाथास्तु सेवनापरा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Is everyone able to see the screen and hear clearly on Zoom?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Pravesh.
Very nice. Thank you. So let's read the translations. We'll read that together. We'll read it on our side. You can read however you want on mute or together. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name is of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone who enables one to taste full nectar at every step. Second one, Prabhu, you want to read?
Yeah. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting.
Prabhuji?
One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, people on the Zoom, anybody in position to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Please take turns. Yeah.
O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruitive activities described in flowery language. All I want, life after life, is unmotivated devotional service to you.
Next.
Yeah,
I'll go
Kanchana
on.
Mataji, go ahead. Or Shiva. Shiva, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. O my Lord, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but because of my own fruitive acts, I have fallen into this horrible ocean of uh, nuisance. Now, please, causelessly merciful to me, consider me a particle of dust at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Next.
Oh, my dear Lord, when will my eyes be beautified by filling with tears that constantly glide down as I chant your holy name? When when will my voice, Father, and all the hairs on my body stand erect in transcendental happiness as I chant your holy name?
Thank you. Next.
My Lord Govinda, because of separation from you, I consider even a moment a great millennium. Tears flow from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I see the entire world as void.
Next.
The last lucky one.
Why didn't you read that, Prabhu? You said the lucky one.
Let Krishna tightly embrace his maid servant who has fallen at his lotus feet, or let him trample me or break my heart by never being visible to me. He is a debauchee, after all, and can do whatever he likes. But still, he alone and no one else is the worshipable Lord of my heart.
Hare Krishna. So we looked at history. Last time we looked at the Shastrika references of where it is. This is the timeline of Mahaprabhu's lifetime here when he was Avtirna 500 years back, right? 24 plus 24 years, Navadvipa and Nilachal. That is because his mom wanted, Sachidevi wanted him to be nearby where she'll get the news. And we all came 7,000 miles away. And uh, his teachings, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, are also reflected in his own Leela that he performed in the lifetime that we will look at. That I pray to all the devotees, Upasthit and Anupasthit, and those who are going to watch on the YouTube later on, to pray for me so that I can speak the right words at the right time and it inspires Mahaprabhu's mercy in the hearts of everyone. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So these are the 8 verses, and this is the outline. The first one is like results of Sankirtana. What happens when we chant? Right. The second one is why the powerful and merciful holy name is inaccessible. The third is 4 keys for constant chanting. How do you chant all the time? And the fourth is sadhaka's desire is ahetuki bhakti. Anya abhilashita shunyam. Steadiness on perfection. That is the going reverse. Fifth is natural position of a jiva is Krishna's kinkara, servant. Sixth, eternal symptoms of perfection. Nayanam galada shrudharaya. Yeah, here we are bringing tears to other people's. So seven, internal symptoms of perfection. And then steadiness on the perfection. This is the 8. In short, this gives us the fastest and most crisp summary of the whole spiritual progress that we can make. We can start on the first one and then we can reach the last one, and all of that can happen in one lifetime. Mm-hmm. Now, one may say, what is the big deal if we can do this in one lifetime? Correct? Mm-hmm. So, this is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela and power comes into picture. That it's normal. Okay. Let's take some examples. Narad Muni, who is our Acharya, how many lifetimes to get perfection?
Narad Muni?
Yeah.
One lifetime.
Anybody on the Zoom side? Anybody knows more than one? So Narad Muni was in the Swargaloka and he got cursed. So he came to the Bhuloka. In Bhuloka, he served the devotees and ate their Maha. From Maha comes Mahaprasada. So Srila Sharan Prabhu has an announcement to make for future. So he ate the Uchishta, the Mahaprasadam of some Bhagavatas who were camping because of the monsoon. And that is where he got his perfection of spiritual life. He went through tapasya in that life. And the next life was his perfect spiritual body where he could go anywhere. In that second life, he was basically doing tapasya in the jungle when Lord appeared in his heart, gave him the darshan, but then that darshan disappeared. And then when Narad Muni started looking for, oh Lord, I want your darshan. And the Lord very clearly said, this was the trailer. You keep doing your tapasya, you'll finally get to the perfection. And as per Lord's instruction, he got to the perfection. Hare Krishna, Gaurav Prabhu, Arnas Mataji. So, as per the Lord's instruction, Narad Muni continued tapasya. The third life was the perfect life of Narad Muni. Now, let's take Bharat Maharaj. Do you guys know about Bharat Maharaj? How many lifetimes before he got his perfection? 3. Right. So, first was Bharat Maharaj. Second was deer. Third was Jadabharata. So in the first, he was the king and he donated everything and then he went to the jungle. But what he missed was the company of devotees. We have to practice devotion in the company of devotees. What happens when we are doing something wrong? Somebody will say, Prabhu, this is your blind spot. You could go wrong on this. And that's why that particular activity happens a lot in ISKCON. Everybody's guiding everybody about how to be safe. And that is where he became the next life because he was very, very careful about protecting the deer. And deer was in his thoughts at the moment of death. He became the deer. So he missed his exit very narrow, in spite of doing all charity and giving up everything, all family life. Then the next after that was he became the Jadabharata. In Jadabharata life, because he remembered as a deer, also he remembered his last life, remembered his mistake. As a Jadabharata, he remembered all two lives. So now he was very careful. So not to engage in any three guna activities, Sattuguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. He acted like he doesn't know anything that is going on. And that way he protected himself from getting engaged in the matters of this world. And that is how he got his perfection. So that is the Srinivas Sharan Prabhu ki jai. So three lifetimes. Now these are great Mahabhagatas. Now let's talk about King Chitraketu. How many lifetimes? So King Chitraketu was again the king of the world, whole world. And he had how many wives? 1 million. And there is a very, very interesting story that goes to the ups and downs of how he was not having a child or son. And then by Rishi's Ashirwad, he was bestowed with a son. And the child's name was Harsha Shoka. Harsha means happiness. Shoka, Harsha Shoka was his name. So as the kid was growing up little bit, what happened? The king became very, very entangled only in the wife out of million. And these were all like Raja Kanyas, Rishi Kanyas. The child and his mother. Only he was interested in that. He was not ruling the kingdom anymore, and he was not talking to other wives anymore. He was not talking to ministers anymore. So these co-wives, they got jealous because envy, right? Right? Why we are not getting any attention? So they poisoned the child. These are like in previous times when people are really pious, and these are Rishikanyas, Rajakanyas qualified to marry the king of the universe, can get envious enough if they don't get attention to poison a child. And through extreme sorrow, when he was going through that with the separation of the child, what happened? The Rishi appeared again, Angari Rishi, I think, appeared again and said, "Look, you never had this child in your karma. It was by the blessing, and the child has left. You really want the child back." So they bring the child back to the life. The child says, "Oh," and then this King Chitraketu starts saying, "Oh, my dear child, oh, my dear child, oh, my dear child." And the child is saying, "Who are you?" "I'm your father." "Which lifetime?" Because the Atma had already left. Now, when Atma comes back, this is another record. One life is just one record. So it's like, which father, which mother? I was moving on in my journey. You are blocking me. And that is how the child moves on again. So the dies again. And the king is awakened to the reality of I am not this. Said loudly. I am not this body. That's the first lifetime. Right? And then he goes for tapasya. That's such an amazing tapasya. Gets the blessings of Lord Narayana. Lord Narayana gives him the blessing. In blessing what? He receives a planet by himself. He has a satellite planet of himself, which is full of gardens, cities, all the opulences that he needs, all the servants, everything is right there. And that planet can go anywhere in the universe. Isn't it amazing? Who would like that? Right? Hare Krishna. Anadaram Rajanam. So he receives that amazing planet as a gift, and then he's going around the universe, and that is where he comes across. He comes across where? Comes across a place where Lord Shiva is giving a class to all the Rishi Munis, and Mother Parvati is sitting next to him. not next to him. She's sitting on his lap. And Lord Shiva is giving the class. And what is the title of the class? The title of the class is renunciation. Right? See, how are you laughing? So, like that, the Chitraketu, King Chitraketu also, he has gone through tapasya, he has received Lord Narayana's darshan, and basically his liberation is paka.
Yeah.
Right? He's only enjoying before he gets his liberation. But then, how did he laugh? Like that, he also laughs. And he says, "Oh Lord Shiva, you are giving class on renunciation, and Rishimunis are sitting in front of you, are really renuncious." So it's like little Virodhabhas. So Lord Shiva takes it easy. He knows he's a devotee, joking. But Mother Parvati, who is devotee and a pativrata, cannot tolerate insult of her Swami, that too in public. And that is where she says, "Oh, Chitraketu, do you think you have become the Yamraj?" Because who gets to decide whether somebody is doing something right or wrong? Yamraj makes the finalization. Chitraketu keeps a record. So should we find faults with others? Whose job it is? When in English they say, "Do not judge others." Right? So what happens? She curses Chitraketu that you will become a demon, and that demon is named Vrutrasura. So in spite of receiving Lord's direct darshan by offending our top Vaishnava, Lord Shiva, he gets the life of a demon. What is important? Vaishnava Seva or Vaishnava offenses?
Vaishnava Seva is important.
Vaishnava offenses take you from Lord Narayana Darshan to demon life. And how many lifetimes again? So after he received Lord Narayana's mercy, it was like a new life for him. Right? He was not that King Chetru with wives and children. He was living in a very different lifestyle. So 3 lifetimes. So if such a great devotees take 3 lifetimes to perfect themselves, like they're going like as fast as possible, right? Here, Srila Prabhupada has promised us as a mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, when he was Shivananda Sen, right? The traveling party was coming to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a dog that started following Shivananda Sen, the devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the dog kept going with the yatra and they kept feeding him and he was traveling with the yatra nicely. And finally, just before they arrived at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place, that is where the dog disappeared. And Shivananda Sen and everybody got a little worried that where is this puppy? Where is this puppy? And they started looking around left, right, center. If Hare Krishna kids are listening, they're like, "Oh, we can keep dogs, huh?" So, and the dog is not to be found. Finally, they find where the dog is. He's with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is eating coconut and giving his Maha coconut to the dog. He's feeding the coconut pieces. Wow. And because he got the Maha Prasadam,
I have told them many times.
might as well you want to announce it. So, because of the Mahaprasadam that the puppy got, the dog gets converted into a spiritual body, and in the spiritual body, he flies up in front of everyone's eyes. Devatas are showering flowers that Atma got released from the clutches of Maya, and is going back to the spiritual world. So, the great Mahabhagavatas took 3 lifetimes of tapasya, and a puppy got liberated by the mercy of Shivananda Sen, who was a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is a sadhana siddha devotees and there is a kripa siddha devotees. Sadhana siddha devotees are like they will be very ardent and they will austere and they will do the sadhana properly. And kripa siddha devotees, they will find pure devotees and surrender and say, "Look, I'm good for nothing. I do not know Sanskrit. I do not know grammar. I don't have money to donate. I don't have anything, but I want to surrender." That surrender can take a puppy directly into spiritual life, whereas the great Mahabhagavatas are becoming demons and they're going through so many austerities. So that is the power of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that in Kali Yuga, where in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, people are taking multiple lifetimes. And I'm talking about very, very senior people. And they didn't give up, they continued. But here, even a puppy can get liberated. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the power. That is the magic we have at hand. We just have to do our part, even if we do it imperfectly. See, in some places in India, there is an open book test. You have to.
Yeah.
In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's class, just by arriving in the class, you pass. You go to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, you will get mercy based on your patrata. Patrata means qualification. Hare Krishna. But if you go to Mayapur, POVP, you can look it up. You get the patra also. You get the patra and you get mercy. So it means you don't need to have any patrata to go to Mayapur just by surrendering to Gauranga, capital of spirituality in today's world. In today's world, the remaining dhams, the older dhams, in Kali Yuga, they are dwindling slowly. Mayapur is rising. So that is why it's really, Lord's avatar in Kali Yuga, who is right in the heart of ignorance, the location that is there. Lord is standing there and saying that, yes, if you surrender to me, it is possible. So that is the power. So what is this magical formula that Mahaprabhu has given that even a puppy can go back to the Godhead? So we also stand a chance. So let's go a little deeper into the shlokas. Okay. Chandana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Now, the good part is we have very honorable members like His Grace Gaurav Prabhu and Her Grace Arnaz Mataji, Kadamari Mataji, Kanchan Mataji on Zoom, Sumit Prabhu, and did I miss somebody? Ramukun Prabhu. These are the people who have created the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I am just the delivery boy. So if you have any questions, we have the right people right here.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Sir. Last week we heard your glories. You are not here. You are not even on the Zoom. So, but we glorify.
It's a group.
Yeah, I saw your name.
A group setting they were listening.
Ah. Yeah.
It was Arnaz Mataji's birthday. Happy birthday, Mataji. So now we'll go a little deeper. Now, tell me the other Prabhu who is Sanskrit and very eloquent. Harish Parshad. Harish Parshad Prabhu has an amazing playlist on the same topic.
Yeah.
Only 22 classes. Each class is almost 3 hours. So this syllabus
One
is...
shloka, 22 classes.
One shloka?
One shloka.
22 classes.
Yeah.
So how deep it can go?
Yeah. He just started second shloka like last week.
Okay.
But for last few months, it was only first shloka.
22 classes. So just understand what these verses are, and there is unlimited juice in it, and how many angles you look through, you will find it.
Yeah.
So we will do our humble effort to take the honey out of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving and see how we can apply. Because if we don't apply, what do we do with that, right?
Yeah.
So the translation, we have gone through that. So we'll go directly to the next one. So what are the benefits of Sankirtana? The first thing is it cleanses the mirror of the heart. So self-identity is the first part of our existence, right? Who am I? And if I'm thinking I'm this body, but I'm soul, identity is misplaced, then everything else is also misplaced. So that is where by chanting, the first thing we realize is I'm not this body, and we start to see the reality as it is. The next is extinguishes the blazing forest fire of samsara. Bhava Maha Dhavagni Nirvapanam. Now, what is Dhavagni? The forest fire.
Forest fire.
Now, what typical forest fire? It will start and it will end, right? By itself. But why this Mahadhavagni? Bhava Mahadhavagni. Bhava means physical, right? It is manifested here. Mahadhavagni. So, why it is Maha? Because a soul starts in from the spiritual world, comes into the material world, until the soul goes back into the spiritual world again, this Dhavagni does not stop. I'll silent the phone. This Dhavagni will not stop. You can do whatever you like. You can be millionaire, trillionaire, or very famous or very strong. Does not matter. This Dhavagni will continue. And the only way to do the Nirvapanam is through Sankirtana. Spreads the rays of benediction moon. So not only it extinguishes the Dhavagni, and for say for example, if there is a real forest fire in California, let's say, right, LA. So if it is to rain, what are the three conditions necessary for extinguishing the fire? It needs to be heavy.
Yeah, heavy rain.
There should not be any gap, right? And it has to go on.
Uninterrupted rain for a
Yeah,
long time.
heavy.
Yeah,
Should be heavy, intense, no gaps. Otherwise, it rain for 5 minutes, then again tomorrow rain for 5 minutes. That may not do it. It has to be intense. It has to be continuous. It has to go on. So, like our chanting also has to be deep,
intense.
deep, no breaks, and do not stop. It should go on for a very long time. Then what happens? Spreads the rays of benediction moon. Now we start to feel that, okay, my life is not as difficult as it used to be. It's getting under control. And that is where it is. The life of all transcendental knowledge. The chanting, Lord has stored all the power within that. So all the vidya, all that is to know is there. If you chant, it will reveal all the spiritual knowledge you are supposed to have. I have heard 99% of the progress can be achieved just by chanting properly. And what is the time of the day when to chant? But again, we say there are no rules for chanting. So how to so the Vedic rules were so strong that if you do mistakes, then there were reactions. There are rules for how do you take shower in the morning, which direction do you face, and which mantras you say. And there is a name of a hell to you go to if you don't do that properly. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu basically circumvented that also for us, the whole Vedic system. How? In the Kali Santaran Upanishad, this Mahamantra is given. But the Mahamantra is given as Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. What Mahaprabhu did, he swapped it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So now it is, now when you keep chanting continuously, it is simultaneously that Vedic mantra and not. So he gave us this backdoor saying that now no rules apply. Now who can do that? You and I cannot, we are not empowered to say that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord being himself, in Kali Yuga, he knows our avastha, right? So, for example, one of the offenses is what? To be inattentive while, but what if we are inattentive while reading the offenses? That is our avastha. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows our game. That's why he made that system where, okay, you can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra without any rules. And that means you can now start, at least get started. When you get started, now you start to realize how to make it better. That is where morning chanting and other things help. Life of all transcendental knowledge increases the ocean of bliss. Anandam Buddhivardhanam. So in spiritual life, the happiness is always on the growing side. And for spiritual life, happiness to be on the growing side, the key, His Holiness Harivilas Maharaj gave me years back, decades back, is whatever seva you do not start and stop the sevas. If you have taken one seva, and then today I like it, so I'll do this, and tomorrow I'll like that, I'll do that, and third day I like that, I'll do. Instead of swapping sevas and stopping sevas, you basically make sure that you are doing seva in an incremental mode always. Gently, slowly, firmly keep increasing your seva for your chanting. One mala you are chanting a day. Okay. Go to the second slowly. Take your time. Third. But do not come back and say, okay, I'll take a break for a month. Do not stop. Do not come back. Then there will be Anandam, Buddhivardhanam. And even in the spiritual world, that is the definition of spiritual world, that the Ananda will be always on the growing side. Can you imagine? We're always happier than yesterday.
Yeah.
That is so much fun. enables us enables one to taste the nectar at every step. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadhanam. So every step, that means no matter where we are, how we are, in whatever condition of life, we are able to enjoy that happiness. Again, there is no break. And base the soul of everyone. Sarvatma Stapana. So the whole idea is that the Sankirtana has these benefits, and Gaurav Prabhu, please join in as appropriate. Because I, through His Grace Kannada Guru, I picked up a big bundle of literature and I plopped it to Gaurav. And Gaurav Prabhu actually went into details of all the materials digested, assimilated, realized, and the PowerPoint is his realization. So when he's saying something, it is like Brahma.
So he's a junior NASA.
Yeah, I'm very, very impressed.
Yeah.
So now the three types of contaminations. What are those? Anyabilashita. Anyabilasha means having some other desire other than pure service to Lord. And then bhoga, enjoying things of this world. And tyaga, renunciation disconnected from the Lord's pleasure. Say, for example, some people want to go and save the penguins. Some people want to do Manav Seva, which is not connected to Madhav Seva. That means they would like to go to South Africa and distribute something, or they'll go to some other place, they'll distribute something. But there is no concept of God. There is no Madhav Seva. It's only Manav Seva. So what happens? Because it is at a body level, the benefits are also at a body level only. But it is possible that most of these Manav Sevas can be engaged in the context of Madhava. Like you want to do Annadan, just do the Prasad Annadan. That way, you connect it to Krishna. Now you have spiritual and material benefits going in. Rendering loving devotional service, especially hearing and chanting the sacred names and pastimes of Krishna under his Ladini potency, eradicates material contamination and nations. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra awakens pure consciousness in the Jiva. What is pure consciousness? I am Atma and I am part and parcel of the Lord. Allows one to perceive Supreme Lord, nature, time, karma, and true identity clearly. What are these things? These are the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita. So just by chanting, we can realize whole Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it amazing? And then realizing his eternal nature as the Lord's servant, Kinkara, and transforming material desires into a loving devotional mode of service. So if we realize all this, that is perfect in bhakti. What are the 3 types of kleshas that we figure out in DYS? A lot of people actually think we are actually happy, right? Not realizing what is the intensity and depth of happiness we could have as our birthright, as Atma, although we are never born. As an Atma, we are qualified to enjoy at a X level. We are trying to enjoy at a Y level. And what is that Y level? It is the gap between 2 miseries, right? Why do we say good morning? Nothing is gone wrong so far. Why do you say safe travels? Every travel can be, right? Every travel can be Titanic. Every travel can be last flight. So that is why we keep wishing each other safety. We keep wishing each other be safe, be this, be that. How many security items you have in the house?
0.
No security. No security. The door is always open.
Door is locked.
First,
That is one.
does your car have lock?
Yes.
2.
My laptop has password.
3.
My phone has password.
And will you call 911 if required? So phone's existence itself is security. 5. So we are always, because of the fundamental Atma being an eternal, is put into a very temporary situation.
Yeah.
How many types of insurances do we know? If you list down,
Unlimited.
exactly. What are those insurances reflecting? It is reflecting the uncertainties of life. And we are trying to mitigate those uncertainties of life. So Adhyatmika is Adhi Atmika, mind and body level. How many types of mental diseases we have? 1700 plus psychological diseases are there. Then sometimes you go to this new medical doctor here, and they give you a long form to fill up where there are like million check boxes saying that, do you have epilepsy? Do you have heart attack? Do you have this? Do you have that? I'm like, thank God. Can you have one checkbox that says none of above? Because I have to tick like 100 times. I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't even know what does that mean, but I know it is not me. So mind and body level, so many troubles. And then Adhidevika. Adhidevika is,
Problem stated by material nature.
and then Adhibhautika. That is,
Other living entities. Problem stated by other.
so there is always somebody who is on our case in life, who is, giving us trouble. Only this one person was not there in my life. And even if we are able to nail all people in life, still, nature, nature will not let you be free. Have you heard of billionaire bunkers?
Millionaire bunkers. I've heard that, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Billionaire bunkers are when Mother Nature gets angry, like nuclear. Nuclear is at least man-made, but when there is a real problem on the earth, they have a place to go hide for a few years, which has supply of all the food, water,
Yeah.
television, whatever. Right? So these are billionaire bunkers. So they are so scared that you have to have like those bunkers where you can go and hide and survive more than others for next 5 years. Guess what? In those 5 years, those people will kill each other so that they can outlast and enjoy the remaining food longer. Right? So these are the fires which who promises that they'll get extinguished? Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I'll extinguish this fire. How this is possible? Are we going to change the mother nature and earth and everything? No, we don't belong over here. So when we go back, job done, right? And while we are here, also, there is a process of taking your karma under control, right? That is the process of initiation and bhakti. And that is where we have opportunity to drop our karma. Any remaining karma that we have is also to remind us that we are in the wrong place, gives us the intensity for continuing with the bhakti. Sharam, do you want to read?
Yeah.
Sanskrit.
नातः पर नातः परं कर्म निबद्धकृतनं मुमुक्षतां तीर्थ पादानुकीर्तनात् न यत्पुनः कर्मसु सज्जते मनो रजस्तं भोजयं कलिलं ततोऽन्यथा.
Thank you, bro. Somebody,
Therefore,
translation, somebody else.
yeah, somebody else.
Beta, you want to read translation?
Desires freedom from material bondage should adopt the process of chanting and glorifying the name, fame, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at whose feet all the holy places stand. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods, such as pious atonement, speculative knowledge, and meditation and mystic yoga, because even after following such methods, one takes to fruitive activities again, unable to control his mind, which is contaminated by the base qualities of nature, namely passion and ignorance.
What is pious atonement? What is the recent and biggest example?
Pious atonement.
Holy Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. So, so even Parikshit Maharaj, he says it's like an elephant who goes into the water and comes out and takes the mud again. What is the point in atonement if the seed of desire is not gone? And that is where the chanting, what it does is it cleanses the mind to the level where there is nothing left, which is Anya Abhilashita. That is the power of chanting. That is the benefit we have. Auspiciousness, white lilies, moon rays. Just as soothing rays of the rising moon causes the white lilies to bloom and enhance their whiteness. Sri Krishna Sankirtana expands the good fortune of the jivas. Holy name spreads the rays of bhava or spontaneous attraction for the Lord. So even a normal practicing devotee, like, once you get rolling in Hare Krishna, the first thing that happens is you develop emotions for deities and for temple and for devotees. Um, Once I went to Vrindavan, and there was one Mataji standing in front of Radha Sham Sundar and crying. And that was my day one in Vrindavan. I said, people have so many problems in life. I realized she was spiritual emotions. And after leaving 7 days, when I was leaving, I was feeling very sad. And I was like, oh, that's what was happening to that Mataji. She was feeling sad that she is leaving Vrindavan. So Lord invests his potency and gives us the bhava by which we feel attracted. And that is why we see some devotees are always able to serve in the temple very enthusiastically, because they are connected and enjoying and relishing their relationship with the Lord. Nobody is mandating anything. It is a voluntary organization. And you see people serving not like one day fully, but one day, 2 day, and the day after day, and month after month. And now I'm seeing decades after decades. And we know His Holiness Harivilas Maharaj, last 50 plus years, continuous service, non-stop service. Why is it possible? That is because the Lord is giving that attraction in their heart to continue with the seva. It is the essence of Ladini which impregnates the Jiva's heart. Now, Ladini Shakti, as we said, is basically the bliss potency. And bliss potency means happiness. Happiness can be at a body level, but the bliss is usually like the highest, and it is at the soul level. And that is Radharani herself. Jiva is enslaved by Maya. Who is Maya? Parvati Mata. Bound to the cycle of birth and death. When they become disgusted with material enjoyment and rededicate themselves to Krishna's service, blooming of white lotuses nourished by the moonlight. Chanting of the holy name revitalizes the lotus of benediction of the Jiva. So, what happens? Life after life after life, and it's not like our normal life as a software engineer in America. Life after life means sometimes becoming amoeba, sometimes mosquito, sometimes anything. And after living that kind of a thing and thinking that we are enjoying, finally we come to the point of frustration. Which are the four types of people who get attracted to Krishna Prabhu?
Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. People who are in distress, people who are seeking wealth, people who are inquisitive, just curious about God, and people who want to cultivate knowledge about God.
His Holiness Harivilas Maharaj says, some point in time, we got frustrated enough in life that we decided to take up spiritual life. It could be this life, but we have to get frustrated at some point in their life where we have no hope to enjoy. Then we can take spiritual life seriously. As long as we have hope that we can enjoy material life, our spiritual life cannot be on fire, because we have hope that I can be happy here. And if I'm happy here, might as well I just increasing that happiness. Right?
Yeah, Prabhupada also writes in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, unless one develops a pessimistic view of material life, they cannot progress in spiritual life.
Exactly. And that is the Paravidya and Laukiki Vidya. What is Laukiki Vidya? How to
Material.
how to make money, profession, and Paravidya, spiritual knowledge. What is Swarupa Shakti? Internal spiritual potency is Vidya, while Maya is the Avidya. So Vidya is basically Subhadra Maharani, who runs the spiritual world. And Mahamaya is our Parvati Mata, who is running the physical world. And what is the difference? Because Mahamaya convinces us, I am this body and God does not exist. Correct? In the spiritual world also, the spiritual energy, she also puts us in hypnotism and tells us that Krishna is not God. Here also Krishna is not God, there also Krishna is not God. Both are Shaktis only. She is also hypnotizing, she is also hypnotizing. How is it? How is it that they are doing the same job? Any guesses? People in Zoom also feel free to answer. How come the Mahamaya and Yogamaya both are putting a hypnotism on us and putting us in a state of hypnotism that Krishna is not God?
Krishna is the script writer. So he writes the script. What Mahamaya should do. How
he wrote it.
Hypnotize.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, in the material world, that's what the Jiva wants. Jiva wants forgetfulness of God.
Okay.
That's why Mahamaya.
I got up to there.
Yeah.
Yogamaya also makes you believe Krishna is not God.
Yeah, in the spiritual world, if Yogamaya does not make us believe that he is not God, we cannot, for example, in Goloka Vrindavana, right? We cannot play with Krishna.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For being in the Leelas of the Lord, first you have to forget he is God. Yeah. Can you imagine that you are in front of God and Narayana Avtara and so many other Avtaras? Lord is in the worshipable form. That means reverence. I am so small and I have to be scared and you are so great. Even in the Vishwarupa Darshan in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma, Shiva, everybody is like shaking. So in that connection, you cannot go and climb up on Krishna's shoulder and say, Krishna, I want to play kusti with you. That is not possible. So in the spiritual world, Yogamaya puts the avaran on the jiva to believe that Krishna is not God. Yashoda Maya thinks that if Krishna doesn't eat, he will die. So she is feeding him even under the Govardhan Lila, where Govardhan is on his finger. And Yashoda Maya is thinking, my Krishna will die. And then she scolds Govardhan, saying that if you give any load on Krishna's finger, I'll curse you. I'll float. So that is the fun part, that the devotees near and dear to Krishna, they forget Krishna is God. That is how they can enjoy with Lord. To the point, when the Damodar Leela, when the Balaram comes and says that, do you know what you have done, Maya? You are tying down the supreme personality of the Godhead. He's in the heart of everyone and he has all the knowledge and all that. And then she said, then who are you? So, I am Ananta Shesha. All the planets are in orbit because of me. Right? And she says, Acha, I'll come and bind you also. All the incarnation had to come in my home only. That is the mood Yashodamaya is. So that is that spiritual knowledge, material knowledge. So both are in the hypnotism, but for a different reason. So we are not really free to think on our own what is right. That is where we take the benefit of acharyas, their prayers, their knowledge, their realizations, because either way we are hypnotized, we're cuckoo. So we better take shelter. So what is the original choice we have then? The original choice we have is, do I want to serve Lord or do I want to serve myself? If I want to serve myself, then Maya Devi takes over. If I want to serve Lord, then Subhadra Maya takes over. And that is where every day we should wake up and say, Lord, I want to serve you. Engage me. And that is the Mahamantra. What is the Mahamantra? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Oh Lord, please engage me in your service, right? That is where then the spiritual energy takes over. And the spiritual energy can take over here also. Over here, the material energy has two energies within that. That, Bhakti Shastri people will know better, the Prakshik, Panatmak Shakti and the Avesh. So one energy pushes you away from Lord and one energy takes you closer to Lord. So Mahamaya will help you go closer to Krishna if your desire is pure. And her job is to make sure that bad students do not pass out of the college. They stay in the college. That is why we have to have blessings of both Mayas by saying Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the life of the bride called as Paravidya. When pure devotion arises in sadhaka's heart through the sincere hearing and chanting, Bhakti Devi removes material desires, eclipsing avidya. So the whole engineering setup is there, right? It's just like you go and press the button on that machine, the Coke will come out or lemonade will come out. Right? That all engineering is taken care of. The jiva has to only desire. Press the button. I want Krishna's service. She purifies the soul with spiritual knowledge, revealing the jiva's original spiritual form and helps in obtaining Sambandha Jnana. Who is the deity for Sambandha? So that is coming. Krishna's name is the essence of all transcendental knowledge. So basically, now we are going into like word by word level translation and meaning of that. That is what is coming. And okay, and I should play like this so that the next button will work. Okay. Increases the ocean of bliss. When the tiny jiva takes shelter of the lotus feet of Ananta Krishna, he submerges in an ever expanding Vardhanam, boundless ocean of bliss, Anandam Buddhi. Feels like Disneyland. Huh? Do you guys agree? This is like Disneyland. Have you been to Disneyland? So does it feel like that? Better than Disneyland? So one family with their small toddler went into the Disneyland where they were sitting on the beach, which is created by Disneyland. And one crocodile came out of the water, grabbed the toddler, went back. Now, lots of divers and everybody tried to go and look for that toddler, never to be found again. This is material world. Threefold miseries are binding even in the middle of the place of happiness. In the first world country, best place to enjoy, a crocodile comes and changes their experience from, oh, parents and toddler are enjoying Disneyland to no more toddler. That's the difference. In the spiritual world, we are in our spiritual body being indestructible. We don't have to worry about three kleshas. We don't have to worry about birth, death, old age, and disease. So basically, the problems over here are absent and the happiness is on the growing side. What a deal, huh? Sri Rupa Goswami, describing the pastimes of Sri Krishna in Vrindavana, says, I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna has produced. I think last time we talked, after sleeping for 8 hours and taking a shower also, at the time of chanting, it is possible to feel sleepy. That means we have not opened the jar. We come to Hare Krishna, there is a jar full of honey and it has a cover. And basically, we have not opened the cover. We are looking at the jar. Everybody said, very yummy, very yummy. And then we have not tasted the honey. So we are licking the jar from outside. That is when we feel sleepy, we feel bored, we don't want to chant. We're forcing ourselves because we're licking the honey from outside. Once we open the jar, then it will produce the happiness. So few devotees you will see, they always have a glitter of happiness in their eyes. And you will see that they're always blissful. They're not looking for dhanam, janam, sundari, anything. Whatever happens by Lord's mercy, they're comfortable. And they are very carefully not hurting anyone. Extremely careful. Start watching. Hold three names in your mind right now. Like, who are the people who are fitting in that category? These are the people who have opened the jar. I'll give you an example. You are going in a local train in Mumbai. It's crowded and all kinds of crowd is there. And you are carrying Kohinoor in your pocket. Now, two people are fighting about the seat, but the seat belongs to you. Will you fight for that seat? If you get into fight, you may lose Kohinoor. No? Is that seat important? No, half an hour I will stand, but I'll protect my Kohinoor. Right? Somebody is insulting somebody. Do you care? Do somebody insult you? Do you care? No. I don't want fight with anybody. I am carrying Kohinoor diamond, the biggest diamond in the world. And I want to carry that safely. So I don't want to fight with anyone, not because I'm humble, not because I do my insults. I have something more valuable with me. Yeah. So when you see devotees of temple who are so careful not hurting anyone, we should know, and not one day, 2 day, only on the birthday. Always. That means they have opened the jar. They have understood the value of what they're carrying and they don't want that to get disturbed. So they're like, what do you want, Guruji? We'll do exactly how you want it. No problem. Right? So I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna has produced. When the holy name of the Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within my mouth. And that is where our tongue is like Mother Sachi or Yashoda Maya, because she gives birth to the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So she's able to do that. Now it is up to us to use her in the service of Maya Devi and say, discuss about things of this world or discuss the things of the spiritual world. We then desire many, many mouths. When that jar opens, we desire many, many mouths. When that name enters the holes of my ears, we desire many millions of years. The only thing that happens is on the Vyasa Puja day or the festival day, we wish many, many hands to collect Mahaprasad. Right? It's like, why my hand is not longer? It can go through the crowd and get a laddu out. That is still seva. When that name enters the holes of my ears, we desire many millions of years. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of my heart, it conquers the activities of my mind, and therefore all the senses are become inert. Effectively, all senses become engaged in Krishna's service, inert in the material direction, just like a tortoise who can pull his head and legs. We can pull out from the material activities and we can engage them only in the spiritual. A devotee has to go for a conference to Las Vegas. Will go to his room and still do his sadhana and he's chanting around. He'll attend the conference, take his prasadam, eat that prasadam, come back. That is like a tortoise. It's protecting from the outer environment. Sri Krishna Sankirtana destroys the gross and subtle material bodies. What are the gross and subtle material bodies? Anybody? Let's start the gross. Yeah. Whatever we can touch and feel, 5 elements. And the subtle, mind, intelligence, false ego. And that infinitesimal soul regains his original pristine purity. What is the size of the jiva?
10,000, the tip of the hair.
And although the jiva is Anu, his spiritual happiness is not minute. Unlimited happiness. Krishna's name endlessly expands, and the spiritual bliss inherent to the soul by leaps and bounds. The Supreme Lord Krishna chanting beauty, enchanting beauty, his divine qualities, his sublime pastimes are ever ecstatic and real. What happens? The Naam will reveal in our heart the gunas, rupas, leelas, dham of the Lord is revealed in our heart through the name. So name includes everything. Name has all dhams included, all leelas included, all rupa included. And the name, when the Nama Prabhu becomes happy, will reveal all of that. The Supreme Lord chanting, enchanting beauty, his divine qualities and his sublime pastimes are ever ecstatic and eternal. Inebriated with divine prema, the pure jiva continuously drinks the sweet nectar. Inebriated मतलब क्या?
Look up.
Sadly, मतलब किक मिल गया है ना? शरण प्रभु, do you remember kick लग गया मतलब क्या?
Kick like a.
Huh? When you drink?
No, I didn't understand.
Never? Okay, then don't worry.
Hey, no, I haven't been intoxicated.
Nothing. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Still the
So that's
Lord's.
the meaning of inebriated?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the spiritual realm causes you like a state of so much happiness. You are intoxicated with that happiness. You're a detox material, but spiritually you are intoxicated. Still, the Lord's captivating beauty remains ever fresh and ambrosial, relished in endlessly unique and novel ways. What are the Krishna's 64 qualities, out of which 4 unique qualities? Lila Madhuri. He is the performer of wonderful varieties of pastimes. So you compare other Vishnu avatars, Krishna has these 4 qualities only to him. One is Lila Madhuri. Second is Prema Madhuri. He is surrounded by devotees endowed with wonderful love of Godhead. And what is the example we took? When Krishna, being present in Braja, that eyelid, lava matra, you know, what is it? Eyelid batting is also not acceptable to gopis. Say, Brahma, what kind of engineering you have done? We cannot see Krishna for that one lava matra. Venu Madhuri, he can attract all living entities all over the universes by playing on his flute. So what happened when he played flute, Krishna played flute, all the cows would think Krishna is personally calling them, and they would come running, and then they would be stand still and listening to him. And Yamuna's water, sometimes it will stop, sometimes it will start flowing rivers. The birds will start chirping, and all the gopis who are in the family duties in the evening, when they hear Krishna's flute, they would be again inebriated, intoxicated, and they would run towards Krishna helplessly. Sometimes they are getting ready and dressed up, and they would wear it incorrectly because running is more important. Sometimes they have babies and they'll drop the babies there only. They're cooking, they'll drop the cooking vessels there only, and they'll run. So that is the Venu Madhuri. Krishna's flute is very powerful. Now, Krishna can preach through us when we are little hollow on our pride. Because the flute has number one thing in the flute is what? It is hollow. So if I don't have a lot of pride in my heart, Krishna will leverage me for his preaching. He'll play his flute through me. But if I have pride, if I am filled with ego, then it is very difficult for Krishna to use us in the preaching services. So for preaching, the number one thing is to drop our pride. Talking about pride, I want to give you two, three jokes about everything in the world can be done in the Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. So that means even the charity can be done in the Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And the example of Satoguna is this belongs to Lord. Lord is engaging me in the service of the Lord. So I want to use it in the service. I am only the instrument. Krishna gave it in my hands so that I can put it in somebody's hands for service. And na dhanam, na janam, na sundari, I don't want anything out of it. The Rajoguna is I want fame, I want publicity, I want appreciation, I want dhanam, janam, sundari type thing. But the Hare Krishna joke on that is, say for example, what is the fort where there is lots of gold here? Fort Knox or something. So all the American gold is stored in one fort. So if you go over there and say, I want to donate this gold, so the first thing is everybody will laugh at you. Like, this gold belongs to the country. It does not belong to you. You are saying, I am donating this gold. So we know everything belongs to Krishna. So when we do charity, what is there to be proud of? Everything belongs to Krishna. So, like you go in Ganges and take some water and you're dropping back and people start clapping for you. It's like, wow, wow, wow. What a sacrifice. I took it from Ganges, I gave it back to Ganges. Where is anything to be happy about? So we are only doing our duty in giving taste back to Krishna, saying that Krishna not only, if we clap for ourselves for doing charity, how much should we clap for Krishna who is doing so much charity to us? He's giving us so much. If we start clapping Krishna, the hands will not be enough. Then we can say, oh, I need more hands. Because Krishna is giving so much. So, and then the other joke is the one who thinks I'm the biggest donor is the biggest fool because of what I explained. Right? But the second part is equally true. One who never does charity actually is the biggest donor.
He has a lot of wealth behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When he dies, he will leave it behind for family who is not home. He's not dead. He's somebody else. Or it could be for society. Or it could be that the state government of Washington takes it over. Or he leaves them for a dog or something. Ultimately, he is the donor. But he did one short donation at that point of death by giving everything. So he's the biggest donor actually. But one who donates a lot is basically, or thinks I'm the biggest donor, is a fool. Because nothing belongs to us in the first place. Rupa Madhuri. He has a wonderful excellence of beauty that cannot be rivaled anywhere in the creation. Krishna's beauty, you say Madana Mohana. Who is Madana?
Keep it.
Keep it. The Devata of making us fall in love. Do you know why we have so many mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes?
Yeah. Once, Vyasa Puja, that was in New Jersey decades back, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj, he was explaining And he very went into very deep description of in Mumbai there are rats, big rats, rodents. And he was sleeping on the floor in the temple. And one rodent came and Maharaj is sleeping on the floor. And the rodent very came close and he's looking at him, eye to eye contact. And Maharaj is like looking at the rodent is like, why do we have so many rodents in Mumbai? Why we have so many rats? And then he only explained, because the rats love rats and they replicate. Who makes them feel that the other rat is lovable? Kamadev. So Kamadev is so powerful that he can make crocodiles like crocodiles, mosquito like mosquito, rats like rat. That power of making somebody so attractive is given to Kamadev that he can control. That Kamadev, who controls everybody else's desire, he falls in love with Krishna. When he sees Krishna, he's like, wow, Krishna, you are so beautiful. So, somebody who is that powerful in the area of beauty and love also is completely intoxicated by Krishna's beauty. That is the beauty of Rupa Madhuri. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam enables the Jiva to release the nectar of these four qualities and enable Jiva to be situated in one of the rasas. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. We have seen that. So basically, Krishna gives us a lot of choices how you want to connect with him. Right? We can pick and choose, or we are natural in that, so we just go for that. It's not like one rasa is better than others in the sense that whatever is natural to you, go take care of it. But it is also considered that the gopis are in the prema rasa are at the highest level of devotees. I'm not saying that. There is a whole class. That was the first class I heard from His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj, which is Narad Muni in the search of a pure devotee, where he goes around talking to everyone saying that I am looking for a pure devotee. And every time he goes to a devotee, that devotee says, Arey, I'm so useless. What to tell you? Go to somebody else. So he goes to a king who is very powerful. Then he goes to Indra. Indra sends him to Brahma. And then, like that, keeps traveling from Loka to Loka, Pandavas. Everybody says, Hanuman, I am not a great devotee. You go talk to this person. This person is really the devotee of the Lord. And finally, Narad Muni has to reach gopis to say that, gopis, I have found you. Everybody else says you are the pure devotee. But ultimately, through that whole pastime, what we learn is gopis are the highest devotees of the Lord. They are in the prema rasa, and prema rasa is the highest rasa. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us this prema rasa free of charge in the Nama Hut. Nama Hut is what? A marketplace full of holy name. This prema rasa of Krishna is freely available. Take it. Sri Krishna Sankirtana cleanses all the contamination. This phrase also indicates that neither the contamination of Sayuja Mukti. So there are muktis at 5 levels. You can also look like Krishna. You can be on Krishna's planet. You can have powers of Krishna. But those kind of things are not interested. Devotees are not interested. We are still interested in like Krishna. I just want service. Can contaminate the heart of the jiva in the state of perfect bliss. Lord Chaitanya uses the expression Sarvat Pasnapanam. The bliss of Krishna consciousness is completely pure, wholly free from any desire of self-satisfaction. Nothing for me, Krishna. What are the real life examples of people who are like completely, the jar is open. In Prabhupada's time, there is a Jayananda Prabhu. Have you heard of Jayananda Prabhu? Anybody? Jayananda Prabhu was such an amazing devotee, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, that he would go find people from the streets and bring them into Hare Krishna and then make them temple residents. And then he would go back to his cleaning things again. And somebody comes looking for temple authority or somebody in the temple, he will say, yeah, go speak to that person. He's the temple authority. And then he would go back to cleaning again. And time and again, he would bring more and more people and elevate them into different roles. And he would never take any position and he would just keep serving. He's the one who built the first Ratha Yatra cart and the many Ratha Yatra carts. So that is why in the Ratha Yatra, we have a photo that is Jayananda Prabhu. And he before, in his lifetime, he got diagnosed with cancer. And in the even a cancerous state, when devotees would come to see him, he would still, it's difficult to imagine how painful it is to be in the cancer pain point of view, because they allow you pain medication, which is also substances that explains how painful cancer can be pain wise. He would get off the bed and still pay them obeisances, right? Otherwise, the new style is like we means Vancha. Vancha Kalpa Prabhu. Jayananda Prabhu, in a cancerous condition, he would get down and pay obeisances to devotees. And his relatives, somebody left him a bucket of money in inheritance, like 60, $70,000 or even more. He donated even that to ISKCON. Wow. Now talk about being proud about the charity, right? He's in cancer situation. Srila Prabhupada is saying, use it for your medical. He's like, no, Srila Prabhupada, I want to use it for ISKCON. Jar is open. He knows I'm not this body. He knows he is seeing the Krishna's Leelas. This sublime mood is therefore untainted by even the slightest tinge of selfish lust or self-indulgent craving. That is Jayananda Prabhu. That is Ahindra Prabhu. Ahindra Prabhu is another class by itself, if I start on that. Now that I talked about Ahindra Prabhu, I have to say something more. So my very first visit, around 2010, I would say, or even earlier, um, which the year Ahindra Prabhu left his body, that was the year, was my first visit to Vrindavan. And my first visit to Vrindavan, first evening, it was a holy festival. In the first festival evening only, he was doing 1 hour Sankirtan in the Krishna Balram temple. And that was, I saw him, he was singing very nicely. 1 hour I stood, and then at the end of it, um, with me was His Grace Gopinath Prabhu from Chopati. He took me to Vrindavan first. So after the kirtan was over, Gopinath Prabhu made me sit down and talk to Ahindra Prabhu. And I said, Ahindra Prabhu, I'm Gauranga Chandra Das. Ahindra Prabhu said, why? Like, what is why? But I can't say that. I knew if Gopinath Prabhu would make me sit down and talk to him is some very senior person. So I said, Prabhu, I became Hare Krishna in Seattle. So after a few second pause, he again said, why? I didn't have an answer. At least the first why I could guess that. You know. The second why I kept quiet. Then Ahindra Prabhu said, you should be here. Seriously, you should be here. I said, yes, Prabhu. Mm. Right? So that was invitation from him. Come stay in Vrindavan. What are you doing in Seattle? Yeah. And now one may say, it's easy to preach to others. What are you doing? Type of things, right? Ahindra Prabhu, he, as a teenager, he was born to hippie parents. And as a hippie parents, he liked music and he saw Hare Krishnas doing Sankirtan on the street. And that is why we should do Sankirtan. We get Andhra Prabhus. He got attracted. He told his hippie parents, I am going and joining this Hare Krishnas. Bye bye. And he moved in with temple. In moving into the temple, like first handful days, he got direct darshan of Krishna. Where it was like he was under the ground and above the ground there was some grass and he could hear a lot of stampede. And this was like neither a waking up condition nor a sleepy condition. It was like he was falling asleep and he felt he could experience that. So he could hear a lot of stampede, like a lot of cows are running and lots of bells and whistles and musical instruments. There's a whole crowd coming towards you. What do you do? Right? And that was basically Gopas running and the cows running. And he got that vision of the spiritual world where Krishna came and he stopped where he was looking up from the ground level up and glanced at him. And as that glance was on, somebody called Krishna. So Krishna again ran. That was that momentary flash vision he got. And he got convinced this Hare Krishna is real. This was in few days, like a week or less. How many years were it? And angel started talking to him. Finally, you have come to the right place. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave this place. It's gone. So he got so much convinced, he migrated to Vrindavan. And then he never left Vrindavan. Never left Vrindavan. And there came a time when his father was about to leave his body, Indra Prabhu's father. Now, again, he had taken a vow, I am not leaving Vrindavan. And then his father is leaving his body. So, what to do, right? And that is where he again got darshan of Krishna. Said, I have given you birth in the family, this family, to liberate your father. Krishna is talking to him. And then they found out that his father was a disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he decided to peel away from Gaudiya Sampradaya and go enjoy life. I want to go enjoy. And he completed his life in India, died, and he was born as a hippie in America, in the hippie family. And he enjoyed his hippie life. Whole life he did not chant even once, Hare Krishna. But Krishna says, I never give up on you. So he dropped a pure devotee in his house just to bring him back to liberation. And that is how then Indra Prabhu used to wear lots of tulsi malas. So he pulled out the tulsi mala and gave it to that devotee who came with the news that his father is leaving and said, drop it in his fire ceremony, his fire, last fire. Because the tulsi mala, why we wear tulsi? Because when our body is burnt and if there is a tulsi with us, pure tulsi, original tulsi, not duplicate, it gives us liberation. Ah, so easy. Secret, but it's so easy. Somehow that tulsi bead reached the place in USA and the body was kept. The family decided to do fire. They could bury also, right? They decided to do the fire thing. And in the fire that tulsi reached and his father got liberated. That is Indra Prabhu. Indra Prabhu had yogic capabilities to get out of the body, go around, come back again. He could invite other Atmas into his body and kick them out also. He was different level. So I felt a little when I was talking to him that he's not, when I'm talking to you in your eyes, right? He's looking at you as a whole thing. He's not
Scanning it.
so different. It was different. So that was the thing. And I didn't know, even after meeting with him, I didn't know so much. Then His Grace Rasa Chandra Prabhu gave me the whole download on who is Andhra Prabhu, what is what. And it was very inspiring, his life story. I was very happy. Then comes Arjun Saka Prabhu. You met Andhra Prabhu. It's like, so Indra Prabhu is so inspiring for Amarendra Prabhu, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu and Arjun Saka Prabhu that they could never meet with him, but they went to Vrindavan. They interviewed all the people who served Indra Prabhu and took notes and interviews. And they can talk hours and hours and hours about Indra Prabhu without seeing him once. And when I see them, I realize what I got. And then I came home and I told Aryan and Pranjal, look, they were small. I have invitation to go to Vrindavan. My job is done. And the kid said, like, then what about our invitation? I said, okay, I will invite you. So we are not interested in Sayuja Mukti also. And the point is those who have opened the jar, they operate at a different level, can contaminate the heart of the jiva in the state of perfect bliss. Lord Chaitanya uses this expression, Sarvatva Snapanam. The bliss of Krishna consciousness is completely pure, wholly free from any desire for self-dissatisfaction. The sublime mood is therefore untainted by even the slightest tinge of selfish lust or self-indulgent craving. Parma Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Time check. Please keep me honest on. We'll take questions and reflections also. So 8:15, we will stop and take reflections. I want to make sure everybody gets fantastic prasadam. May the chanting of the holy name of Krishna be ever victorious, for it is adorned with 7 transcendental qualities. It is embodiment of eternity. It is knowledge. It is the highest bliss, steeped in the wonderful and variegated amorous pastimes of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Okay, our Sanskrit Pandit, Guru.
जय नामधेय मुनिवृन्दगेय जय रन जय पर परमाक्षकृते त्वमनाधारात् अपि मानकुदीर्तं निकुलग्रतपपति पतलिं विलुम्पसि.
Amazing. Knowing first time you look at it, it's amazing. All glories unto you, O holy name. The sage have always sung hymns praising you, and you have now appeared in transcendental form of the supreme syllables of the pleasure of all humanity. If one chants those syllables of the holy name, even indifferently, indirectly, jokingly, deceptively, or slightly, you destroy his most dreaded sinful reactions, therefore extinguishing all of his sufferings. Therefore, you are always victorious. Parama Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtana. So, Krishna's name, no matter how, it will work. No matter how. Somebody is making joke about us. Hey, these are Hare Krishnas, right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, what did he said? The Hindus were chanting Hari Hari. The Muslims were laughing at Hindus, saying that, ha, ha, how they are chanting Hari Hari.
They are also chanting Hari Hari.
Everybody chanting Hari Hari. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita or somewhere in the scriptures, it is given that a Yavana, don't make me translate that, a Yavana who goes to attend a call of nature in the jungle, and a wild boar attacks him. The wild boar attacks him. Looking at the wild boar, he's shouting because wild boar is considered boar is considered bad. Haram, haram. And the wild boar comes and he does his punch. The boars are very good at impact analysis.
Mhm.
So the person leaves the body and gets liberation. What happened? Even Hara, that's new, but there is Ram in it.
Yeah.
Ram. So there is Ram inside that. And at the point of death, the person said Ram. So that is the power of the holy name. No matter how, do you see those big trucks over here where there is a Ram written on it? Does that explain why the country is progressing? No matter what, indifferently, indirectly, jokingly, deceptively, or slightly, you destroy the most dreaded sinful reactions. That is the power of the holy name. Yena kena prakarena. Somehow, our children, Aryan and Hari, they used to board in their first grade school bus for going to school. They would go and talk to the driver. Do you know there is a Hare Krishna temple over here? There is amazing prasadam in the evening. Please come. And the driver say, okay, okay, I will come sometime. Go sit on your seat right now. But I'll come, I'll come. And they make Hare Krishna. When you go to the new city, you are sitting in a cab. The easiest thing is to ask the cab driver, hey, is there a Hare Krishna temple in this city? Usually, out of respect, they will say, I do not know if there is a Hare Krishna temple in this town. Thank you. Job done.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Yes. When you see a jiva, you have to know that yana kena prakarena.
Make them jump.
That is why we on the hat, on the t-shirt or anything, why are we carrying always? People read that and say, job done. But these are very minuscule type of activities. The primary activities on Saturdays, we should go and Sankirtan and actually participate. Let there be all victory, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Krishna Premo Dagama Premam Premamartha Aswadana Krishna Prapti Sevamrita Samudre Majjana. The result of chanting is that one awakens his love for Krishna and tastes transcendental bliss. Ultimately, one attains the association of Krishna and engages in his devotional service as in immersing himself in a great ocean of love. We're reaching 8:15 and verse 2 is another new syllabus, right?
Yeah.
So we'll pause at this point in time and take reflections. We'll start on Zoom first so that it's easier for them to. Shiva Kumar Prabhu, what? So we are closing the class here. Now we are asking, what are the reflections? What is a reflection? Something you liked, something touched your heart, and something that you will take it forward in your life for implementation. And we all gonna take turns and talk about it. So be ready. Please come on video. Yeah, Shiv Kumar Prabhu first. Unmute, please.
Consistent chanting. So, like you were mentioning, the Davagni can be extinguished only by continuous water flow. Similarly, like continuous chanting will only be, taking us from out of Bhavasagara.
Very nice, Prabhu. Intense, uninterrupted,
Yeah,
and continues for very, very, very,
exactly.
very, very long time.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhu.
you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Who's next? So people on Zoom, if you're still listening, please come on video and give your reflections. After you, we'll go into the room.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Sneha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, I really liked how you shared Indra Prabhu's story. We hear his kirtans on our Bhagavatam class every Sunday. But had it not been you for sharing his story, I don't think I would have ever known, the leelas that he experienced. It was really amazing, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Sneha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Chandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Kancha Mataji, yes. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's a wonderful session. And I was remembering, like, first I attended DYS with you, and it's amazing. After a long time, again, I'm hearing to your class. And it's a wonderful, wonderful session, Prabhuji. And what I liked is you are telling, right, like Bharat Maharaj and some other examples where you are quoting, like they took 3 lifetimes to get liberated. But if we take shelter of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and just chant the holy names with attention and love and devotion, so it is the easy way to get liberated from this material existence. So how wonderful it is, Prabhuji, like like it is helping me. I mean, I can think about this on daily basis and chant more attentively by recollecting the points from this session today. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. Kindly pray for me.
Hare Krishna.
Who's next? And those who can, please be on the video.
Uh, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the session was very nice as always. We were very nice sessions. It it feels like we should keep on hearing the sessions even on the YouTube. Whatever recordings are there, usually I listen to them. And then today's takeaway, you explained about the pride, that devotee should not have a pride. If like and if we don't have a pride, and then as per Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, if we chant Hare Krishna, and then we will get liberated easily. So that is the takeaway for me, and thank you for sharing Indra Prabhu's story. It's very touching.
Hare Krishna
Amazing.
Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
One more reflection I want you to carry back is, do not
Mhm.
appreciate me for small charities. We have people in our team who do it in tens and thousands of dollars and we don't even know. Then we have Harilas Maharaj and such a big people in that congregation who are donating in millions. So now you go to a Hawaldar and say, Hawaldar, you are the most powerful. And commissioner is standing next to him. What will be the Hawaldar situation? So that is another reflection you want to carry. Thank you.
Prabhuji, I wanted to even share that about the deity sponsorship. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And you said the same thing, what is in my mind.
Okay, listen to the class again. I'm trying to say, don't do it. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, sir.
Krishna.
And thank you for helping with the decks, you and Prabhuji and Adesh and Riddhi. great family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, who on the Zoom?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Kadambini here. I don't know, my video is not working for
We'll survive with the audio,
some
Mataji.
reason. हाँ, so I want to wish you that हवालदार से आपका प्रमोशन हो जाए.
So that he can give more.
Exactly, that's what she's saying. You can donate more. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. That is a good
Yes,
blessing.
yes. So today lot of information actually you gave us, and I'm still trying to digest a lot of it. But I liked how we started, like Narad Muni and the story of King Chitraketu, and how, despite being the greatest of devotees, they had to spend three lifetimes to get the realization, and how the dog was liberated simply by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is such a simple thing. We started with that. So that was a really wonderful story. And you also told us that in Vrindavan we get mercy based on our patrata, but in Mayapur it is easy to get liberation by the grace of Lord Chaitanya. So in Kali Yuga, Mayapur is the place that is rising for to get into the devotion and devotional mode actually for Krishna. I also liked the way you explained the spiritual world and the physical world, like the story you said about Mahamaya and Yoga Maya, how these are two potencies of the Lord, but they are pulling us in different in the opposite directions. And how Mahamaya, she keeps us entangled in the material world, and if we wish to go to Krishna, then she can help us. But how Yoga Maya helps the devotees, by telling them that Krishna is not God, because they want to enjoy the leelas with him. If they keep thinking that Krishna is God, then they cannot enjoy the leela with him. They will be just like they will be in awe of Krishna. Instead of that, so like the story of Yashoda, how Yashoda Mata enjoyed her time as mother with Krishna. So that was a very wonderful story. And he also told us about the Mahamantra, that in Vedic period there were strict restrictions, or like strict rules to be followed for the chanting of the mantras and all that. But for us, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he reversed the mantra to make it easy for us. So instead of Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, he made it the other way around, and it said Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So to make it easy for us. So that was also a wonderful thing. And we have heard that before. It was a good repetition again. I liked that one. Then also you told us about how we live our lives, like in the devotion. We are still, devotion is the nectar, and Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting is like the nectar, but we are like licking the nectar from the outer side of the bottle of the nectar. So you were telling us the stories of people who have realized the real nectar, like the devotees who are in the temple, and they always have smile on their face, and they make cautious effort not to hurt anybody. So that was also wonderful. So lot of things I learned today, and the four unique qualities of Krishna, like the his Leela Madhuri, Prema Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, and Rupa Madhuri. Again, that was also wonderful. And we also have to remember that we have to drop our pride, and do chanting continuously. Um, uninterruptedly with full devotion. The example that everybody knows, that the Davagni, if we want to extinguish that material fire within us, we have to do like the rain extinguishes the fire. So we have to do the chanting like that rain, uninterrupted, heavy, continuous rain. So like that, we have to do the chanting. Then you are also talking about the kind of charities, like charity can also be given in the sattvic mode, rajasic mode, and tamasic mode. So you told us about that also. So that was also wonderful. And of course, the best thing I liked is the personal stories of Jayananda Prabhu and Aindra Prabhu. So these two people that you told us is like, I mean, I'm uh, really touched by their stories, and I'm like, it makes you realize that you have a long, long, long way to walk on the path of bhakti. And I'm just taking baby steps. I've just started taking baby steps towards that right now. So thank you for giving us the inspiration and showing us the path to walk on the showing us a path to devotion of Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Please pray for me and everybody.
Mataji, looks like you are using some AI tool to take notes of the running class. Wonderful summary.
Amazing. No?
Wonderful summary.
So usually in our Marathi class, we allow her to go last.
Okay. You keep the best to the last.
Best for the last, yes. Mandakini Mataji.
Amazing, very inspiring. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Always inspirational, Prabhuji, to hear you. Yeah, really like to hear the meaning from you. I, you know, I don't know, I won't be able to talk much, but uh, it's a great thing, all the great points that you shared, great way to remember that, that Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam that you explained. I really liked it. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So Mandakini Mataji and Pradyumna Prabhu were my students before I went to India, the last device batch.
Okay.
Result is here. Shuddha Bhakta.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mandakini Mataji. Kindly pray for me. So, where is the pin option? That's right. We can do it.
No, we can. They can see us from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beta, would you like to announce your first name loudly? Let everybody know.
Some point that
Louder.
some point that I thought that I could start
Microphone is here.
we have to set
Microphone is here.
Okay.
So put it here.
and
Right with the person.
time to work to extinguish this forest fire of samsara. And if we take one seva, we should stick with it. So service should always be incremental and not go downwards. And we should connect our man seva to Krishna, so then it becomes Madhav seva. And I also like to point out, he said how insurance is like us trying to protect ourselves from like the material problems, but it's always uncertain. And we're always under either the internal potency in Yogamaya or Mahamaya. So we should always chant the Mahamantra so that we pray to Krishna to always engage us in his service so that we can always be under Yogamaya. And the last point was that devotees are always very humble because they've opened the pot of honey and they have something so much more valuable. So they don't argue or get engaged in material conflicts. But yeah, that's it.
We are also attending the classes, Sanskrit classes with our we are doing very good. We are very proud of it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So the seven things which Sankirtana helps us to remove, cleanses of the mind mirror and everything. One thing I really liked is how it extinguishes the fire, the three forms also, and how that we can chant without any rules. Earlier it was like Hare Rama, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to reverse it so that we all can also chant. um, and also, if we do Krishna service, then Bhakti Devi also removes the material desires. And Prema Rasa is the highest devotion, and that is something Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to taught us. So those are the things I really liked, and rest the other classes very nice. Okay, Hare Krishna.
So every student we have in our Marathi class, English also, but Marathi class, very proud. Anand Mataji comes from Zoroastrian background. And she loves Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Sincere devotee.
Naturally,
Yeah. Thank you for contributing to the deck also. Also, Kandani Mataji, Kanchan Mataji. So nice.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It was a very nice lecture. So I think I'll quickly summarize it. So in the beginning, you started with there are two types of devotees, sadhana and then krupa bhakta. So I think yeah. So it is instead of doing so much of austere severity, austere sadhana, basically the Leela that you mentioned from the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lifetime was like just by taking the um, basically surrendering to such austere devotees, you get the most benefit out of it. And a dog basically, when he took the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was liberated. And what happens when you basically take shelter of such um, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He basically gives you the name. And as we saw in the lecture, there are seven things that automatically are engineered into the name itself, like basically it cleanses the mirror of your heart. It takes care of the miseries that are going on in your life. It sprays the benediction moon. It reveals all the scriptures into your heart. It lets you taste the nectar of all the literature, all the Nam, Roop, Guna, Lila. And basically it removes all the uh, what can I say, the desires that we have, like we saw, even the Sayujya Mukti, even those kind of desires are all taken care just by chanting the Nama. And I think in the last lecture you mentioned, like Prabhupada said, like his devotees are already living here and they are as good as they are in the Vaikuntha. So just by chanting, you can be at that stage where you can realize that just by chanting, you're already doing all the things that you will be doing in the Vaikunta planet or Goloka Vrindavan just by staying in this material world. So I would highly, so this encourages me to chant the holy name. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for making it happen.
And I was just an instrumental. Yeah, and thanks to you, Prabhu, for engaging me in this service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Gaurav Prabhuji, thank you so
Krishna.
much. Gaurav Prabhuji, I just want to thank you so much for the wonderful presentation of the Siksastakam. The first verse itself was, 7, 8 slides, and you covered everything in that. It's really wonderful, wonderful.
I was
Thank
just
you
an
so
instrument,
much.
Mataji. All glories to our Guru Shishya Parampara. They have such a nice material available for us. I just put them together.
Yeah, it's all condensed in, it's in the condensed form. So it's like everything is coming to us in a condensed form. And that's where your efforts are showing. Really, really wonderful job.
Thank you, Mataji. Play for me. Hare Krishna.
Is the flow?
I want to add here, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Gaurav Prabhu, you have done an amazing job. I just want to add here that you had a eye surgery 2 weeks back, and still you were working on the slides uh, overnight, like 11, 12 o'clock. Until that, you were working, and then again morning you were, because it's a 200 pages slide, so it's very, very big, very tough task, but you have done it very nicely. So thank you so much, and it's because of the Krishna mercy and yeah, and everyone's blessings. Thank you so much. Big Hari Bol.
Very inspiring. Despite having a eye surgery, you continued working on the
Yeah, I couldn't
slides.
see and still you.
Yeah. Amazing.
And at 11:30 at night, I send you something.
Yeah.
12:30, I get a message, job done.
Job done. Wow.
So, Prabhuji, Gaurav Prabhu, Shivananda Sen was the devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So the doggy first took the shelter of Shivananda Sen. And Shivananda Sen is dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why the puppy became dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, there are millions of dogs in India, right? So the senior devotee that is next to us, who is doing great service and is dear to Lord, if we take shelter of them, the rest of the parampara will grab us upwards. That is the uh, relevance part. That it is said as the dog of the Shivananda. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, this is the dog of Shivananda Sen. Come." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So it's
What's your first name?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My name is Shiv Saikaran. So it's a very first lecture from your side. So it's very happy to listen to you, Prabhuji. So and the topic is itself like it has been many times I read, but I never get an opportunity to read the summary. Like here and there in the temple, I saw the just translation, but the explanation was so nice, and I don't know how many points that rest of the devotees are able to remember, but I definitely go back and re-listen the recording if possible. And the best part, some of the highlights that I can remember immediately, like uh, so the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving mercy to the dog, so and it tells the how much benediction that we have, that we are able to pray to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So like even it takes multiple lifetimes, we are able to we can try if we are sincere and if you do chanting continuously. And uh, and one other thing about talking about when you are giving respect to other devotees, like we should be very careful how much value we need to give, just like carrying a diamond so with you, like so when we know that value what we have, then we can at always we can be in that consciousness and do the right things at right times. And the many pastimes of Indra Prabhu and those things, like I never listened to it, but happy to know that, and it was so sweet. And many times I wonder comparing with the moon, especially like benediction to the moon. When I read the translation, also sometimes I don't get it. Now today I understand like how the lilies are getting with the moonlight. So I think this is nice to hear, and it feels like I can feel whenever I read this the verse again, like I can feel it. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Great. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. And because there is no prasadam available, still you are coming for that. That shows your jar is open. That's so amazing.
Srinivas Prabhu, mercy, and he always makes me, if I am not listening, Prabhu, he sends me like recordings. So always, I openly talk to him and ask any clarifications, like when we're reading anything outside. So he clarifies. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. And one best part from the slides, Prabhu, it's a wonderful and glorious slides. One thing, wherever Krishna name is there, you are highlighting that. I loved a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you.
See, it takes one to be one to see one.
Yeah, exactly. The
So
beauty is
whenever
in the eyes of the beholder. Huh? I did not notice that.
So they tell, right, Prabhuji, when Enakir Prakaran, as you tell, like somebody, I mean Saraswati, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj also sometimes they said, like while I'm listening. So when somebody rave some some literature, if how many Krishna is coming inside, so then okay, if Krishna is there, it will qualify to read and all. So like when the slides are coming, even though they are explaining there are Krishna names and he is highlighting it.
Yeah.
So that feels like okay, See, even they are blank and drowsy, they are not reading Krishna. Highlighting in red, it feels like okay, they read the Krishna. Nice book.
We can tell that you have gotten the essence.
Trying to relate the things, sir.
And Shiva Prabhu, this Shiva and the other Shiva who is online, uh, so they both have great service attitude.
I have seen them in the temple.
They do a lot of service in the temple. Not only service, in bhakti, both are important, right? Service and then sadhana, Shastra, Patanam, Shastra Mananam. So this Shiva, he has great interest in reading and hearing Shastra. Recently, he found that the first ever handshake was between Krishna and Brahma. Krishna gave handshake, literally like this handshake. So we thought handshake is like either British or American Western thing, right? No, it originated from Krishna. So after Krishna told Brahma, go ahead and create, the material things, he appointed Brahma as in the job, right? So he said, good luck. So he found that. Second canto, Bhagavatam, second canto. In Bhagavatam, second canto, it is there. Amazing. Okay, yeah.
What is your reflection?
So thank you, Prabhu, for your time and enlightening us on the first verse of Siksastakam. My takeaway is Kohinoor diamond. So that was really inspiring. Like when you have Kohinoor diamond, you don't fight even if the seat is yours. You don't fight even if somebody is scolding you, giving you bad words, insulting you. You don't fight. So when I have the Chintamani of holy name in my hand, which is more valuable than Kohinoor diamond, why should I even worry about all these petty things? So that's a very awe-inspiring thing. That's the best part I like, and I like many other things. In your very first slide where you summarized all 8 shlokas, right? First shloka, the 7 benefits of Chetatarpana Marjanam. Like that, you mentioned one verse from each shloka. So I think if you just remember that one word, you can remember the whole shloka, and then you can remember the summary of all the 8 shlokas and the connection. So that was wonderful. Yeah. Amazing. And then, as you mentioned, we would like to have multiple mouths and multiple ears to chant and to hear the holy name. So I wish to develop, that mode of, having multiple mouths, multiple ears to chant the holy name and hear more, more and more. As as it is mentioned, we learn 25% in the class. The remaining 25% we'll learn when we go home and study Swadhyaya, and other 25% when we discuss with others. So whatever we learned here, either you discuss with other buddies, or you discuss with others who have not attended this session, and you will learn more. And the last 25% is experience. The experiences will teach you the remaining 25%. So I think we should all make an attempt to go home, study. You will be sharing the slides, right?
YouTube video.
Or what are the slides?
Slides, any authentic person of ISKCON comes asking, we will give it to them.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially if they want to deliver the session.
Yeah. Okay. So any material that is available, you go through again and you read. In KK songs also, when you go there is a word for word meaning of all these kirtans, ashtakams. So wherever you find the information available, I think we should all go and read, assimilate that information, share with others. And so wonderful, Prabhu. Next time when we chant or hear Chetodarpana Marjanam, the first sloka, all these things will dance on our tongue. All the emotions, all the katha that you shared will dance. Amazing. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, devotees, for allowing me to speak, be instrument in the process. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpataruvyascha kripasinubhyo patitana.
Let's give a big round of applause to Gaurang Chandra Prabhu by loudly chanting Hari Bol. Hari
Hari Bol. Hari
Hari Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bo.
You also.